Okay, so now that we've taken a look at the Ford Fiesta ST, let's take a look at its bigger brother in the performance line, the Ford Focus ST. Now, we're getting a little bit different car with the Focus. I actually know someone who owns a Focus ST, so I've ridden in this car before, and I can give you guys a couple impressions on, the driving experience I had with that, whereas I've never actually ridden in a Fiesta, so couldn't give you as many impressions there. So, I mean, we have this Fiesta style, or I'm sorry, this ST styling. You can like it or not. I'm going to try and leave this up to you guys, whether you like it or not, and just provide my personal impressions here that you can't quite get by, by watching the video. You have to see it and feel it. So let's take a look at which Focus we're looking at. This one starts at $32,155. This is the ST2 package, so not the fully loaded ST3 package. That one has, I think, heated. Oh, this one has heated mirrors too. So it doesn't have whatever's in the ST package. I think that might be some sort of navigation or some other things. But this is the Focus ST, and as soon as we get in here, you guys can see that we're kind of dealing with a different beast, a little bit different car than the Fiesta. So getting into this car, and you can see it was much more expensive. Even the starting price of both of these, there's definitely a significant cost increase with the Focus. So as we look at our steering wheel here, still leather wrapped, pretty much the same steering wheel, but this one does have that carbon fiber accent package, which, now that I say, I'm not sure you can get on the Fiesta ST. I'm pretty sure you can, but not positive. It does have this really cool ST shift knob, which feels definitely more premium, a lot higher quality than the one in the Fiesta. So at least by default, which, you can change this by yourself, but a lot of people just don't like doing that. So definitely a premium feel to the shift knob. And, it does seem, at least to me, I'm not sure if it is, you'll have to watch both videos for yourself if you're kind of looking at these two cars, but this seems like it's in a different position. That it might be angled up a little more. I'm not really sure. Let me just adjust myself as if I was driving here. This one looks like the Fiesta was a manual adjust on the seat, even though, it's a ST model, whereas this one has power seating. So, this is probably about where I'd normally be driving the car in terms of my positioning. And it does seem, you can see the bend in my arm. It seems like a good position for the shifter. Although when I'm up here, it seems like I am reaching maybe a little, but I can tweak that if I was in my driving position. So, but really comfortable feel. We do have these Recaro wrapped seats. Not as aggressive of a look as the Fiesta because we're all blacked out here. But then, as we move here, we have the soft touch rubbery plastic, which feels really good. And then a feature that the Focus has that makes it, a cool performance car that the Fiesta doesn't. Is these gauges up here, which you can use if you're on the track or, you really need those. The center console does, on the Focus, have what I wanted on the Fiesta. It does have that color LCD screen, similar to a lot of Ford models. It'll display, if you want, it'll have like 4 quadrants, and then your average miles per gallon, the miles per gallon you're getting right now, miles to empty, that'll all be displayed, whereas the Fiesta, not that sophisticated. So this one, we do get to take a look at Ford's Sync 3 system here. I'll do a separate video on Sync because, this is a tech channel. So full support on the Fiesta and the Focus here for Android Auto and Apple CarPlay, and then you have Ford's Sync 3 system, so you can hook up your phone and all that. The response time, I'll do a full video on kind of my impressions, but the response time does seem really good. Maybe a little not ideal perhaps with the maps, but still fairly responsive in comparison to what I've seen from Ford in the past. Their My Ford Touch was a really horrible system in my opinion, and then from other manufacturers. So really very fluid, whatever hardware they chose under the hood. It was a good one because we do have really good response here, but I'll go into Sync 3 later. So different driving position. This one has a flat handle, flat bottom steering wheel, so a little more racer positioning. I believe that might even be a different font on the instrument cluster, so just a bit different car, perhaps a little more updated. We can see the screens in a much more natural seeming position in this car versus the Fiesta. But with all this, you do have that really increased cost that comes with it. So I did not open the trunk on the Fiesta ST, just because, that's not a car you're going to put a lot of stuff into. We'll open the car in this one because the Focus is definitely more of a haul your groceries around. I've owned a regular Fiesta in the past, and it's totally fine for I fit 2 people in golf clubs in there, and you can fit that in here too. So I mean, not a problem, you know, if you put the seats down. So really not a problem, you know, for light loads in either car. You're not going to notice a significant difference from one to the other. The Focus, definitely you will notice a difference if you're a passenger. There's significantly more leg room. You might not be able to tell just from this, but I have significantly more leg room with the seat in its natural driving position. You know, in the Fiesta, I'd say my knees were kind of more like here, where, you know, in the Focus, there's definitely some space there. So if you're hauling around, you know, people more often, you know, the Focus might be the better look for you, because there's, you know, definitely a roomier feel sitting in the back here. So let's take one last look at the trunk space as we get out. So we have our rear view camera here. And then a big advantage that at least this model of the, where is the trunk button here? Can't find it. There we go. So it's right next to the camera. But a big feature in my position, a big pro to me, as we can see the trunk space here. So pretty good. And then the seats fold down. So I'll see if I can fold those down. But like I was saying, a big feature to me personally as a Michigan resident, and, you know, someone who really does like Ford cars and likes Ford Motor Company in general and just American cars. This one is built in Michigan, all the Ford Focus STs. Those seats fold flatter. You have to move that driver's seat up a little bit more for that, I think, actually. This car's made in Michigan, the Ford Focus ST, whereas the Fiesta ST over there is made in Mexico. So a big thing for me is to, you know, if I was buying a new car, is I would try to buy one that was made here, you know. So big pro for the Focus ST. There's my first look, and you guys can, you know, comment down below.